Hey everyone, this is Julian from the Binary Lab doing my vlog from inside of my car, which is aka my private recording studio. Why? Because my house is under renovation, the contractors are in, and at the same time, finally, yes, the maid problem is solved. 2 maids have showed up yesterday, and now I can finally, breathe and just get at ease for once. I'm doing this video for the second time because the first time it got cut off. So if you were watching the live from just now, welcome back. Just now I got cut off because of reception. So this time round is back on to, I'm using my 4G network right now. So anyways, I want to talk about this video as like what happened this week. The last couple of days, you will notice that I have been trying to, on my private Facebook profile, I've been very agitated. I've been bitching about this thing, like let's say the credit card, like how they kind of downsize my limit thing, and then like bitching about government, this and that, all kinds of stuff, like policy, and people wonder what caused that change. The reason why that change came about was because, like, as I started to realize how much I was slacking off, how much I was not getting done, and then when I suddenly wanted to change all of that, I realized all that agitation and frustration just started coming out. But I want to get back to this topic about pushing your limits. So the last couple of days I've been pushing my limits, basically physically and mentally. Like I've been trying to stay to all my deadlines for my goals. So let's say I would say that, okay, like I need to get this email done by this time, I need to get this video done by this time, I'm going to cut this video by this time, by this day, I'm going to cut this previous webinar before the next webinar comes up, because otherwise I'm going to get inundated with work. So at the same time, I had this ridiculous labor issue in my house when the previous sloppy maid left, and the new one didn't come in on schedule. And finally, like after 3 days where I had to fend for myself, like I was being like house dad, like, because I don't know, I think between me and my wife, I just preferred getting all these stuff done. So I've been like chauffeur for the kids to and from school. I've been fixing the meals because I love cooking, and kind of because I cook well with my wife as well. And then I've been like doing the housework because once again I'm more of a perfectionist, my wife, when it comes to housework. But in between all these moments, I've been trying to fit in time to like get my work done. So I've been hashtagging my stuff on my personal Facebook, like whatever it takes. Okay, like there was a picture of me with my computer and like me splicing a video with holding a can of Smirnoff that's guarana in it at like 12:30 a.m. I was like, whatever it takes, just gonna stay awake, get this stuff done. So what happened? Long story short, I fell sick, very sick yesterday. Like it's like when you work yourself for too long and suddenly you get a chance to rest, all that fatigue, it just catches up with you, and suddenly your body just breaks down. So I broke down yesterday. Before I had to go up to pick my kids from school, I came down with fever and nausea as well. Not sure how exactly it happened. Maybe there was a little bit of food poisoning to do with it as well. But on the way out, oh my god, I was driving like at 30 plus kilometers per hour. It was the slowest I've ever driven ever since before I got my license. No, ever since I got my driving license, basically. Because everyone who knows me well know that I'm like a speed demon. Like right now, I'm actually sitting in my 420 horsepower TTS that's modified stage 2 plus. And I had to drive that slow because I felt like I was going to puke. And when I got back home from picking up the kids, I just puked. And then I was basically out hot and cold, huddled in the blankets till nighttime. So yeah, I was going between chills and high fever. And then today I'm okay. But under these circumstances, it's very common that when you push yourself too hard, people around you, they'll start to say you work yourself too hard. You shouldn't have stayed up that late. Your body needs time to rest and recover. What were you thinking when you were trying to fit too many things in your schedule, right? Does it sound like some of the things that you often hear from people? let's think back to a time when you're in like school, all right? Think back to when you're in like primary school going on to high school. In primary school, it's all like fun and games, joy and laughter. There's hardly any homework. If there's anything at all, it's just like an art project that you do with your parents. It's very fun. But other than that, there's hardly anything like spelling practice, just drawing, some art and crafts. But when you go to high school, suddenly, you find that you can't simply go home, have dinner, spend half an hour doing your homework, and then goof off to some video games or like watch TV. There's no more time for that. Suddenly, in high school you recognize that, heck, it's 11 p.m. and I'm still not done. How am I going to finish all this work? Because now there's like the take-home math homework, there's the science homework, and there's the projects, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, it's just too much to handle. But somehow, we still manage to handle it. I come from a country where it's like a pressure cooker for education in Singapore. And high school, it's crazy. And when you go to like junior college or even polytechnic, it's crazy the amount of work that they force down your throat and expect you to finish it somehow. And most of the time it involves like staying up to 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, and like I remember that several times during my diploma, I actually like went like 2 or 3 days without sleep, basically. So this is like, if you think back to those times, we weren't born to handle a heavy workload, but we still coped with it somehow, okay? And many of you know that before doing binary trading, I was a tennis coach for like 10 years. And being a tennis coach and tennis enthusiast, I mean, I played comps, and the reason why I was a tennis coach in the first place is because I saw it as a great means to earn money to pay for tennis camps, travel, play competitions and stuff. But as a tennis player, right, the Japanese people, not only for tennis but also in marathon training, the sports coaches, they work very closely with physiologists and sport doctors as well, and they deliberately overwork your body. They deliberately make you train to an extent. Okay, let's put it this way. They deliberately have you train till your bones start fracturing, okay? And then ask you to take a 2-week break. It's the system in the Japanese tennis program, the marathon program. They have a way of overworking your body till your bones start fracturing, right from your feet to your lower legs, and your arm and everything. They start fracturing, and then they let it recover, because recovered fractured bone is a lot tougher than what is supposed to be. All right, just like when we have a cut, sometimes we get a keloid after that. Scar tissue is a lot stronger and tougher than the actual tissue. When you have a car accident, thank God I've never had one, when you have a car accident, when they fix your front end of the car, what they do is that they kind of like, they weld metal into it, and then they sand it off so that it looks the same. So that the certain parts that they fix is going to be thicker. Okay, so like the same thing, it's like when you work your body, when you work yourself, okay, either mentally or physically, when you work towards your goals, some people say you're chasing your goals too fast. You are being over ambitious. This is words for lazy people. This is words for people who don't have success in their future unless they change the way they think. Because when you fall sick from trying to chase your goals too hard, you know that you have progressed by one step in making your body more ready to handle the workload it takes to help you achieve your goals. This is the one powerful truth I want to share with you in today's video. This is the main message. People can put you down. People can try to discourage you. Then why are you so... But the truth is that they never tried, or the sight of you going out there to the front just makes them sick. Just makes them think, why does this guy have to spoil it for the rest of us? Let's say if you're working in a assembly line, why does this overachiever have to make the rest of us look like idiots? Or let's say if you're in a trading room with other traders, maybe you're even a group like the Binary Lab, and then you see this guy succeeding, or you see a few people succeeding, and maybe you're not. It's like you're wondering, why does this guy have to make the rest of us look like idiots? And when that guy does a small little failure, you tell him, you're asking for it. This is a freaking negativity that you should just ban from your ears. Instead, when you fail, know that you're making yourself more and more ready for success. Don't ever stop pushing your limits. When you will fall from trying to push your limits, you will get broken from trying to push your limits. You will get discouragement from the process of trying to push your limits. But all this are going to set you more and more strong, not only physically but mentally as well. Your capacity for things are expanded. At a neurological level, connections are being made inside of your brain. Did you know that when people have depression, it's because the intercellular connections actually get disconnected? And the reason why people with depression, they're not able to rationalize things so well or behave in a rational way, because the intercellular connections are being broken down. But on the other hand, when you are trying to strive for success, you are making more and more intercellular connections, and where you are increasing your ability to think under load. Just like when you run. We prepare for your fitness test. In the beginning, you can only run 800 meters without stopping for a break. But after a month of training, suddenly you can run 5 km like easy peasy. It's the same thing with success. If you can do it physically, you can do it mentally as well. So this is the message, and if you like this message, just share this with your friends. And when it comes to trading, do not ever get discouraged. Sometimes, when you blow your account because you couldn't keep your thoughts together, when you blow your account because you couldn't follow a strategy or a method, it pains you. But think of it as, where have I succeeded? Where have I failed? Ask yourself, give yourself an aftermath. What did I do well? What could have been done better? Okay? And in your recovery moments, think of that, meditate on that, and you can become a lot more successful. Look at my previous videos on the types of binaural audios that you should listen to, and use that to complement with the message I have for you today, and you can be a far more effective person in pushing your limits. Share this video if you found it useful, and for some of the questions, this is Audi TTS with 425 horsepower. This is also like what I call my mini recording studio. I have two cars. There's this one, and there's the A7, which I'm building into a RS7 Plus with an imported engine. And once again, the house is under renovation, so I'm just staying out here to avoid the noise and distraction. Okay, so George, okay, how about binary in Europe, UK? Yes, okay, we're looking at markets for now, but the thing is that I'm actually just wondering if there is some kind of a change in ownership with the broker, because they used to be really prompt on customer message, support messages. So I wrote to them 3 times, didn't get a single reply. They usually reply within 24 hours. I wonder what happened to that. So I'm not going to give the green light on that until, and if I do give the green light, you'll see on this page. There are the other brokers. I'll write them. I'll drop you a comment after I finish this video that you can look into. If you're in Europe, there are options. If you're in UK, it could be a little bit difficult. yeah, if there's anything else, drop a message to the admin on my page, and she could help you with any other situation. And by the way, yes, we have a webinar coming on tonight. It is the Binary Lab Elite weekly webinar. If you'd like to join the Binary Lab Elite, and basically it's a community where you can learn the top strategies. I update my strategies there all the time regularly. And then we have weekly webinars. Like, we've just moved it from... Hey, hang on. We did binary trading on Tuesday. Today it's going to be Forex. Yes, today is Forex. So let's say if you guys are looking into Forex, some of you are looking into Forex because like binary got zoned out by regulators in Europe. Well, at the same time, if you look at the way the markets have been, it's been a lot of very narrow movements. So narrow movements and long trends. So actually the markets have been quite good for Forex. And did you know that if you open a broker account in Forex with 500 or more through the Binary Lab, you can actually gain free access to my Forex learning group? So that's going to be happening like tonight. We're going to have like the third webinar. And I'll be outlining some strategies, going more and more detail, building out from one week to the next. Last week I started with the most basic indicators and some strategies to suit that, but I'm going to be covering even more stuff today. I've designed this Forex learning group to be like very basic, very ground level up, so that everyone can follow it, regardless of whether you have experience or not. So it's idiot proof basically. And like if you wish to get in for that, just send a message to my Facebook page admin, and they can provide you the links to open your accounts with. Once again, it's 500 and above. You get a free access to that group. So there will be weekly webinars until the end of our learning series. So I do have like between 8 and 11 webinars scheduled. They're going to be of different specific topics from week to week basis, and then thereafter it's going to be like twice a month webinars. And also, being part of the Forex learning group, there is a Telegram chat that's set up for you. There's a forum already set up for you as well, and methods are laid out and methods are being created. So the best part about this is that if you want to learn, rather than learning, would you think you have better learning experience from watching pre-recorded videos or learning live? So if you're live on a webinar, you'll be able to ask questions that may not get to be asked. So it's very important that if you're interested in this, get in, contact the Facebook page admin right after this, and I'll see you on the webinars. Bye for now.